Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Tutoring. How are you? I'm hoping you're having a lovely evening, a lovely afternoon, and an awesome day. So we're actually going to do a small extension of what we were working on yesterday. So I was going to do a quick little review, make sure you're doing all right. Let me see if I can make sure I mute myself so we won't have too much carryover. So if you weren't here last time, that's okay. No problems, no shame. But we're going to actually take a look at finding the vertex using just the equation. So yesterday we found the vertex looking at it as a graph, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at what's called standard form of a linear equation. So that's your ax plus by equals c. So we're going to look at standard form and try to pull out the vertex from that. And I'm just going to show you step by step how to do that. So if you're a person that is about to start Algebra 1 in the fall, which the fall is actually going to be in a few months, just in a couple of months actually. If you're thinking about going back to school, basically a community college, or you're thinking about getting your ASVAB, or maybe you just need help with your ACCUPLACER, this is the live for you. So I know I normally come on at 9:30, but I usually have an appointment at 7, but they never showed. So I came on an hour early. So let's see how we can do things and how we can break down concepts nice and easy. So as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap. Remember, I don't get started until we hit that 1K mark. And then we're going to actually take our time and go through this stuff step by step. You may have seen this last week, or you may haven't seen this since, I don't know, since you were a fetus. And now you're like, hey, there's this cute girl that has a pen and actually doing math with a pen. She's so rebellious. I must know her name. So let's see who we have. All right, Miss Booty, welcome on in. King, how are you? Alicia, nice to see you. You have a TSIA 2 test and you don't even a 10% preparation. Well, you haven't done any kind of preparation. You only been doing like about 10%. Well, dear heart, that has to come from you. Okay? No matter how you're going to get another person to try to help you with it, but if you don't have the drive and determination to get it done yourself, I don't know. Banks! How are you, Banks? Hello, John. Oh, that's all right. It was my soothing voice, John. I know. It usually puts people nice to sleep, put them at ease. It was probably like the best night's sleep you ever had, right? Okay. All right, Miss Booty, what we got? Okay, you're 30, just got your master's in counseling. Congratulations. And still don't even know pretty much basic math. Okay. Want to try to learn more? Well, you're at the right spot. So we're basically looking at a little bit of Algebra 1 right now. But as I go through it step by step, if you have any questions, Miss Booty, do not hesitate to ask any questions whatsoever. All right? Because I will answer them. All right? As long as you don't ask any silly questions like, why is the sky blue? That's not me. That's not me at all. All right, so we are 1.7. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the follows. Hey, Jess, how are you? All right, so what we're going to do, I have two problems here, uno and dos. And we're actually going to do like a quick review of what we were working on yesterday. So let me see if I can arrange myself a little bit so we can get ourselves nice and easy. So we were trying to find the vertex. So let me really zoom in so you can actually see the graph. So the vertex is basically either your maximum point or your minimum point, depending on how your graph or your parabola is shaped. So since this parabola is opening downwards, we have a maximum point right here. Okay, so just by looking at it, what do you think is the coordinates of our vertex? Go ahead and put that in the chat. All right. Oh, well, thank you. It's always been. Thank you so much for my goals. I'm like, geez, I think I got to up my goals. We've only been on for like 3 minutes. Okay, good, Nicole. I like to see that. I love to see when people say, I've seen this before. Good. Good. All right. So I have Marcus at -4.2. I have Miss Booty at -4.3. I have Jess at -4.2. Miss Booty changed her thing to -4.2. I know, I need to. All right. Like, is 100 sounds like too crazy? This is too easy. Awesome. Well, Marcus, this is definitely a platform for people that has been like, yes, math is not my thing. So if this is like way too easy for you, I will not be ashamed at all if you wanted to escape. That's perfectly fine. Okay, because I like to take my time here and break down concepts. Okay, I don't want you to stay when you're going to be bored. That was the whole reason why you came on TikTok in the first place. You want to be entertained, right? There you go. All right. So Nicole's saying -4.2. Bill saying -4.2. Nicole changed her answer to -4, -2. Why did you change it? Put it back. Sad to be us behind at 30. Oh, do not worry. Shake it off, give yourself some grief. All right? So it kind of is, but it's not, okay? All right. So here we are at our origin. Let me slide that over. So if I come over, I got my -4, and then I come up at my +2. So my vertex is, as you said, -4, +2. But what would be my axis of symmetry? Okay, for those that were here yesterday, to kind of give us a little hint. But what do you think would be my axis of symmetry? Go ahead, put that in the chat. What do you think is my axis of symmetry? You're probably like, what is that? So Nicole, why is it positive? Because anything from 0 up, the y values are going to be positive. Anything from 0 down, the y values are going to be negative. Okay, if I go to the left on the x-axis, we're looking at negatives. To the right will be positive. Okay, so since we went to the left, that's our -4, but then we had to go up to reach that point, to reach that maximum point. So that is a +2. Okay, are you okay now? Okay. So what is my axis of symmetry? Okay. What is my axis of symmetry? Axes, okay. Very close. What's missing? Same thing, Kai. Very close. What's missing? Because it's an axis. Axes of symmetry. Yes, Marcus. There we go. We need our x equals. We need our x equals. So you got the numbers correct. Okay, I'm assuming ladies for both. We got the numbers correct. But it has to be x equals. And it's only going through my -4. So if I take a look, the axis of symmetry is a vertical line that goes through, oops, that's where my tape is. It goes through the vertex and it only crosses the x-axis. So the best way to tell what your axis of symmetry is, you look at the value of your x in the vertex and you just rewrite it. So your axis of symmetry always goes through the x value of your vertex. Okay. Okay, same as the who. I think she means to say vertex. I hope everything's all right, Desiree. Okay. All right. Thank you for the follow, guys. All right. Excellent. So, just looking at the vertex, so we're going to go to this one. Okay. And it should be negative. Yes. So let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see, or a lot. Okay. Hey, Danny. How are you? I know. Guys, we're into the first week of August. Like, where did the summer go? Like, where did it go? I'm okay. It was a nice busy day. Hello, Constant Growth. How are you? I know, right? Okay. What will be my vertex for this one? What's my vertex? Okay. So remember, vertex is going to be an ordered pair. So it should be an X and a Y. I agree with your Y. Okay, so Jess is saying 4, 1. There, other way around. You got 1, 4. There we go. 4, 1. Okay, Nicole's saying 4, 0. Keith Kiefer is saying 4, 1. Tina saying 4, 1. Okay, JK is saying, hey JK, welcome back. Saying 4, 1. There we are. 4, 1. I see ya. Okay. So if I'm starting here at my origin and I count over my x value at 4, and my y value will take me to 1, which will be this spot right there. So we got our vertex. This is at positive 4 and up 1. So what is my axis of symmetry? Okay, put that in the chat. What is my axis of symmetry? Let me unzoom a little bit, or a lot. Tiquan! Very good. There's something missing though, Tiquan. What's missing? Because it's an axis of symmetry. Okay. It's not going to be 1, 4. Remember, your x is 1, 4 will be up here. Okay. Remember, your x comes before your y's. Okay. Antonia, how are you? Welcome back. Okay, Anna saying 1, 4, saying 1, 4. There we go, Kaya. X equals. All right. So it is, again, it's always going to be a vertical line. Okay, it's always going to be a vertical line, and it always goes through your vertex. Because your axes of symmetry, listen to the words, axes, which means line, of symmetry. Symmetry meaning I'm cutting my parabola in half. That means whatever is happening on this right side, it should be a mirror image of what's happening on the left side. So it's basically cutting your parabola in half. So it's going to go through the x of your vertex. So you have to treat it like that. You have to go to x equals 4. Just like if you're going to name any line, it's always an equation. Okay, so it's an axis, so you have to put the x equals. Okay, just try to remember that as best you can. So like you guys are giving me 4s, which is answers, which is partial. But I don't want you to ever have to sit in the class and then you're getting partial credit for something that you knew 100% what it was. All right. Yes, it's definitely the turning point. Yes, and it is a minimum because it is at the lowest point of that graph. Yep. All you had to do is just put that x equals in front, Nicole. That's all that was missing. All right. Well, hello, creations. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, guys. All right. So let's get ourselves. There is 124 of us. Do not leave. Do not leave. Those 2 people that left, get your butts back here. There you go. You brought 2 friends. Good job. So let's see if we can get up to 10K. Okay, if we can get up to 10K, we're going to continue on with today's lesson. So this time we're going to find the vertex, but we're not given a graph. Ooh, what's she doing? No, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Hello, Antonia. It's okay, Jess. Stop freaking out. No freakouts here. No. None. So if you know of anyone that is like, I just don't get it when it comes to linear equations, you can give me a graph about like reading bar graphs and reading circle graphs all day. Or you can give me like information like adding, subtracting fractions all day. But for some reason, anytime they have this X and Y thing in there, so frustrated, Audrey. If that sounds familiar, this is the live for you. Okay? If it doesn't sound familiar, that's all right. You can keep moving forward. You know, watch some more cat videos or read more about our crazy, politicians and the lustrous affairs that are going on and all that stuff. Whatever you guys are into on TikTok, because everybody's into something kind of crazy. All right? Okay, just a little spice. Directrix, I am not doing it in that form. Okay? For me, I could do it in that form, but I'm not putting it in calculus form. I keep it all the way up to college algebra. So if it surpassed you, if this is underneath you, this is not the live for you. Okay? There's plenty other people that are doing lives too. Okay? All right. You obviously need to be here. No, there's no obviously you need to be here. You're more than welcome to be here. And I try to keep it in a nice, light atmosphere. No stress, no strain. There's no big test at the end. It's just stuff that it will be good for you to know. So then if you have any kids, siblings, anyone else that may need some assistance with this, then you can feel empowered to like, you know what? I can help you. I remember how to do this. Boom. No more of this whole, I got math phobia. I can't do math, so that means you can't do math. That's the main reason why I'm here, because I used to suck at math and I felt like, I will never get it. And now look at me. I was a math teacher, been in the classroom for 22 years, and then I decided to leave. And this is going on year 6 of having my own online math tutoring business. And I have another success story today that is actually able to go right into college algebra for University of Maryland. So I don't know, must be doing something right. All right, so we're at our 10K. So let's take a look. I'm going to unzoom quite a bit. And I really want to direct your attention to the formula. So this formula we're going to see quite a bit of. Okay? So what we're trying to do, this formula in particular, and I think I used it yesterday as well, this is the formula for figuring out your axes of symmetry. I'll actually write it out. Okay, so if they ever give you something that's in what's called standard form. Now, standard form looks like this. It has ax plus by equals c. Okay? Sometimes they'll show it as ax plus by plus c if it is supposed to be an expression as opposed to an equation. Okay? A, B, and C are basically numbers. The only number that A cannot be is 0. All right? We tried to get anything that's 1 or maybe -1. But we try not to have it at 0. Okay, so it helps us factor out or to break things down a little smoother. So when I say the -b, we're taking the coefficient. If it's in the standard form, sorry, forgot to even write standard form, so you'll know what you're looking at for later. Okay. So that's what this is. Okay? So you're taking whatever your value of the y is, or whatever the value of whatever the variable is, you're putting that up top here for the b, and then your leading coefficient will be here for the a. Okay? So we're not doing anything with the constant. We're just looking at the ones that are attached to a variable. So let me show you what I'm talking about through examples, because I have a few steps right over here. So first we're going to find the axis of symmetry, so we're going to use the equation. Then we're going to find, because what you're finding is the x value. Okay, remember, if the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex, that means you're finding the x of your vertex. So then you take that answer and then you're going to substitute it in the equation so you can find y. And then bam, you got your vertex of that equation. Okay? So we're going to take a look. Let me see. I try. Okay. Well, if you're looking at a quadratic, okay, Shay-san, if you're looking at ax squared, if you're looking at a parabola, it's going to be the x squared. If you're looking for a linear, it will just be the x. All right, but I think I am looking at x squares. So I will change that, okay? I will change that because I'm so used to work linear, and that's what I was doing all day today. All right, so let's look at an example. So let's keep it light and cheery. So if we have the f of x is equal to the x squared minus 8x plus 17. Okay. So we have our function. The reason why I'm saying function, because I got an f of x instead of a y. But the f of x and the y's are very similar. The only thing is the f of x means the function of x, and the function of x is the same as y. So I need to know what my a is, what my b is, and what my c is. So your a is in front of your x squared. If you don't see anything, it's assumed to be a 1. Your b is not just the 8, it's also the signage, because that sign is attached to that 8. So your b is -8. Notice I'm not mentioning the variable. I'm just dealing with the numbers. And my c, which is 17. Okay. All right. So when I'm taking a look at this, we're going to try and define the axis of symmetry. Okay, so my axis of symmetry is my -b over 2 times a. So we're going to do some substituting. So my b, we have a negative, and we're substituting just for the b. Okay? This b is a negative 8. So I'm plugging in the negative 8 just for the b, not for the whole thing of negative b, just the b. Then I have 2 times 8, and a is 1. Okay? So now, here we are. We have a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive, and it's a positive 8 over 2 times 1, which, not to insult your intelligence, it's 2. So now let's see if we can simplify. 8 divided by 2, that will give me 4. So what you just found is the x value of your vertex. All right. Now, so when we got this, we have our equation. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 17. So we're going to substitute that answer of 4 for the x's. So we can find the y value, all right? So I know we're dealing with the functions, but we're trying to find that point. So I got my y equals, instead of an x, we're going to plug our 4's. All right, now 4 squared. 4 squared is not 4 times 2. You can try to do it all you want, but it'll be wrong every time, okay? So 4 squared means 4 times 4, which gives us 16. Negative 8 times a positive 4. That's going to give me a negative 32. And then we bring down our plus 17. Okay, so now, order of operation. I know everyone's like, oh, let me just go ahead and subtract the 32 and 17. No, 16 minus 32. Okay, then you minus the 17. So this will give me a negative 16 plus 17, which this gives me an answer of 1. That's what my y value is going to be. All right. So now, here we go. Yep, the axis of symmetry is 4. So now, we just need to find our vertex. That's all we're doing for tonight. Maybe a little end behaviors, but for right now, that's all we're focusing on. So we can say our vertex is 4, 1. Okay, so we used our axis of symmetry, which is right here in green. We used this to find the vertex, the x value of our vertex, which is going to be 4. So if this is the x value of your vertex, you're going to take that 4 and plug it in the equation for the x's so you can solve for your y value of that vertex. And once you got your x and once you got your y, now you got your vertex. Okay. All right. Okay. For your class, okay, makes sense. Good. Yeah, I know I messed up on the standard form, and I will admit to that because I'm human. So let me make this correction real quick. Like I said, I've been doing linear stuff all day, so supposedly it just carried over into my psyche. So this is supposed to be an x squared, and stretch that out, And that's supposed to be an x. Okay. All right. That was, oh wait, something's in the way. All right, so I'm gonna do another one. Hey, Amber. Okay, I also taught that you can choose one before the symmetry or after to solve the second point. Yes, you can do that as well. Yep. It's almost like a table of values. You can do that. Let me see if I can squeeze it on here. Okay. Okay, so let's try this. We're saying the f of x is equal to negative 3x squared plus 6x. Tell me what my A is, what my B is, and what my C is. Okay. Great help. Oh, thank you, Dan. All right. What's my A, my B, and my C? Okay, so constant growth says negative 3, 6, and 0. Do we agree? Do we disagree? Okay, sheesh, agrees. Okay, why? What? So, of course you agree. Good, Dill. Okay, so your A is always, what are we finding? Okay, so we're finding the vertex. Okay, so we're going to find the vertex. So we're taking the A, which is the coefficient in front of the x squared, the B, which is the coefficient in front of the x, and the C is going to be the constant. So when we look at it, your A is negative 3. Your B, which is in front of the x, is a positive 6. And we don't have a constant. So that'll be a 0. Okay? But luckily, we are looking for, or we're only using our formula for the axis of symmetry, which is our negative B over 2A. So we're going to use what we found for the A and B's to plug into this formula. So remember, we're only replacing the B, not the negative B. And we're only replacing just the A. So for the B, it was a positive 6. And for the A, it's a negative 3. Yes. All right. So we have negative 6, because a negative times a positive is a negative. And 2 times negative 3, when the signs are opposite, your answer is always negative. So that also gives me a negative 6. So if I simplify, negative 6 divided by negative 6, that will give us a positive 1. Because when they're the same, when you're multiplying or dividing, your answer is always going to be positive. And then 6 divided by 6 gives us 1. Okay, good. So you found the axes of symmetry for this parabola. So it's a vertical line that goes right through that vertex. So that means this 1 is basically the x value of that vertex. So now we need to find the y value because the vertex is a point. So we're going to plug that 1 in for the x's into the original equation. So since we're trying to find the y, I'm going to put y equals. We have a -3. We're going to replace that x with the 1. And we're going to replace this x with a 1. We're not done with this one, OG. He's like, oh. We're not even done with this one. And yes, we will be doing another one. Okay. So now, we remember, PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So inside the parentheses, we don't have to do anything, but we do have this exponent. Even though you know this is going to give you 1, do not jump to the assumption of like, oh, -3 times 1, and then I square it. No, don't do it. Okay? You have to square first, then multiply. So we know 1 squared is the same as saying 1 times 1. And then 1 times this -3 will give us our -3. Plus 6 times 1, not to add insult to injury, will give me 6. So what's -3 plus 6? Justin's saying 3. Kai is saying 3. Yes. Constant Growth saying 3. Awesome. Good. So you have $6. You spent 3. That means you still have $3. So that means my point for my vertex, remember, it's x then y. So it's not 3 comma 1, it's going to be 1 comma 3. How are we feeling? Okay, thank you so much for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. The follows, the likes, the tapping. I know you guys are getting cramps. So let's see if we can get to 22. I know, right? I know you guys have a cramp in your hand, but let's keep tapping. It's like, woof. Let's see. Can you also teach us the way you find the second point? Sure. I mean, when you're finding your second point, since your x value is 1, you can pick a point to the left or to the right of 1. So you can pick a 0 or you can pick a 2 to plug in to your original equation. So like, let's say if you pick a 0, all right, I'm going to plug 0 for the x's. And it looks like anything times 0 will give me 0. So to the left of this vertex is going to be 0, 0. So if I wanted to go to the right of that, I can plug in a 2. So anytime I have an x, I'm plugging in a 2. Okay. So it's just like you're making your own table of values. So once you find what that vertex is, if I may take a picture or show this, once you know what that middle point is, you can do some valuing, take some values to the left or to the right. Don't have to do both, actually. You just have to do one side because this side is going to be a mirror image of this side. Okay. not a problem. You know, it's true. Like once you find the vertex, life is a little bit easier when it comes to graphing these linear equations. All right, we're almost at 20. There's 148, 149 of us here. Go ahead and tap. Let's see if we can get to 22. Goal for tonight will be 50, if we can. All right. Okay. So I'm going to get myself, situated on the other side.
To one more out of every moment this summer, Mazda has more 2025 IIHS.
Oh, that's weird, because I surely... Sorry, I'm trying to find my stuff. And for some reason, it doesn't want to play my stuff. Okay, there we go. And now I gotta find you guys. Where'd you guys go? All right, there we go. All right. So let's see if... Let's see if we can do... I know you see a fraction. It's okay. Embrace it. Embrace it. Yeah, Relic, that will not be me. Well, the fractions actually changes the shape of it. I mean, it's still a parabola, but it's a lot wider. Okay, when you have anything between 0 and 1, it gives you a wider parabola. When it's more than 1, it's more narrow. So what goes first? The exponents? Well, first thing we should do is label what is our A, our B, and our C. Okay. All right. Is it Tammy? Saying -1/2 is my A. Good. Let's see what. Oh. It'll get close, but the reason why it won't be completely aligned because of the square. Okay, Tammy. All right. Well, thank you, Tammy. Welcome in. All right, user. All of that is saying 4, close. Okay, you made your change. Good job. So it'll be a -4 for my B. There you go, -4. Because you always take the operation or the value that's before the number. And then Maya, good, saying -6. Will be my C. Nicole, how are you? It's been a minute. See, she passes her exam and then all of a sudden never see people. All right, so now that we have this, we're going right into our equation to find the axis of symmetry, which is our negative b over 2a. Okay. So remember, we're only plugging in for the b, not negative b. Okay. So in this case, oops. So we have our negative 4. Now this is awesome. And then you have your negative 1/2. So don't let the fraction freak you out. Because once you see what's happening, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's easy enough. Okay. Numerator, we have a negative times a negative. That gives me a positive 4. Now, a positive times a negative, that gives me a negative. Now, think of it this way. What's half of 2? There we go. Kai, there we go. Watch your sign, user. The denominator is going to be a negative 1. Good, good. You see how all of a sudden it smoothed everything out? Okay, don't be afraid of the fractions. Okay, we all can't have whole numbers. It's perfectly fine. Good, Jess. Good, Nicole. There you go. So all we have to do is just make that into a negative 1. So now we have 4 divided by negative 1. What would that give me as a final answer? There you go, Leslie. All right, thanks for the follow, Rita. Okay. So me is saying negative 4. Jess saying negative 4. Groot is saying negative 4. Good. Lovely. Because a positive divided by a negative will give me a negative. And then 4 divided by 1 will give me 4. So you found the x value of your vertex as well as the axis of symmetry. So what do we do next? Okay, good, Mars. Danny, Coop, there you go. Nicole, nice. Then we substitute. Excellent. Plug the negative 4 for the AOS. Okay, finding for our y. Plug it in. Yes. The person that will go nameless. Okay. So for, I think it'll say solve. Like plug in for negative 4. All right. Okay, Bailey's. What is this? Well, we are trying to find the vertex out of a standard form equation. Yes, we're doing that. So substitute negative 4 to find y. Yes. All right, so here we go with the original equation. So you have your y equals, you have your negative 1/2, but instead of the x, we're going to put that negative 4. Then minus your 4 times, and then minus 6. So here we go with the negative 4 here, and here we go with the negative 4 there. So now, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please, 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 please do not multiply negative 1/2 with that negative 4. That answer will be on the test. Okay? Always remember, take care of the exponents before you multiply. So negative 4 squared, that will give me what? Okay, negative 4 squared, good, Jess, 16. Yes, square before multiplying, correct. Mia saying 16. Now remember, negative times negative will give me a positive. So it's going to be a positive 16, user, all of that. Okay, Candy. Oh, hey, Hey, Candy. Saying 16. Shay saying 16. Mara saying 16. Olga, the same thing. Now, if you're using a calculator, make sure you put parentheses around negative numbers, because the calculator is going to take that 4 and square it, and that's how you get the 16, and then slap on the negative at the end. So if you put parentheses around that negative 4, you will get your positive 16. And probably there's people out there saying, how's she know? Because it happens all the time. So we have our negative 1/2 times 16. Now, a negative times a positive, that will give me a negative. But what's half of 16? It depends on when you guys have Algebra 1. Good. I'm loving those 8s. 8s. I had to take a quick little swig. Hello, Michael. Hello, Sharon. How are you? Bailey, good with the 8s. Good. So we have a negative 8 right here. Then, right here, we can multiply those two. So we have a negative times a negative, 4 and 4. What would that give me? What am I bringing down? Okay. Maya saying 16, Candy 16, Shay 16. Okay, user 16. Person goes nameless, 16. Nicole 16, Sharon 16. Good. I love it. It's a positive 16. And then we just bring down this minus 6. So now, please, you're going from left to right. Okay? Don't just pick and choose what numbers you like. From left to right. So we have negative 8 plus 16. That gives me a positive 8. Bring down the minus 6. Now it's 8 minus 6. That gives me 2. That's what our y value is. Yeah, I was one of those kids that just keep writing y. So I just draw it down like that. Right? Okay. So, what is our vertex? After all of this shenanigans, what is our vertex? Hey Justin, how are you? How did we get 8? Negative 8 plus 16. So if I have $16 and I spend 8, I got 8 left over. Okay. Oh, thank you, Solomon. Appreciate it. So, do you see that, Bailey? We could, but we're not doing that. So we have negative 4, 2, negative 4, 2, negative 4, 2. No, from 1/2. Well, we had negative 4 squared, which gives us 16. Half of 16 is 8. And since this is a negative 1/2 being multiplied by a whole positive 16, our answer gave us a negative 8. So we agree with our vertex is negative 4, 2. If you use a calculator, it will give you that. Now, are you putting, it will give you what? So Lou, you missed the beginning of it. It was all the way up here. Okay, we found the x value. The 8. Okay, so this is probably what happened. Did you put parentheses around your -4 when you squared it to get the positive 16, not negative 16? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Can I defend my use of a pen when solving? Because on TikTok, and especially as a little dark in this room, pen shows up a lot better than pencil. Plus, I'm a G like that. And I'm just kidding. Okay. Why did I add it? Why did I add what? I love how people are coming in later on. They're like, wait, where did all that stuff come from? Have you been here at the beginning? It's okay. Okay. What? No, you can't use the quadratic formula for y's. You use it for x's. You know that. You know better, Justin. Yeah, I do make mistakes. I made a mistake earlier, Michael. You missed it. But I appreciate it. I am a human being. But no, pens really show up a lot better than pencils. I remember, like when I first started doing these videos and lives and stuff, I always noticed that the pens show up a lot clearer than the pencils. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, let's try. Okay, let me give you one more, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit about end behaviors. Okay, so I just want you to work out the problem, and then I would love for you to tell me after, I want to give you probably a minute and 15 seconds. Then I'm going to ask you to put your answers up. Okay? So don't just chime in with answers automatically. I will delete you. Don't tempt me, because I will. All right? So if anything, hold your answers for a minute. I'll let you know when the timer's going to start. So let me write down the problem first. Okay. All right. So try to tell me what my vertex is. Okay. So hold your answers, hold your questions, just give it a try. Okay. Hey, baby. Yeah, we're on our last problem with this one. So just kind of hang loose, and I'll go over it after the time's over. Okay? Oh my God. Okay, 15 seconds. We're going to put our answers up. right, flash them up. Let's see what you guys got. So 2 and 29. You don't know, brah? All right, just wait a moment. Justin saying -2 and -3. You're gonna have to watch the replay. Yeah, I did. I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, Tonio saying -2, -3. What's the topic called, Matthew? We are finding the vertex out of standard form. Okay, grumpy is grump is grump, saying -2, -3. Still learning, Sharon, not a problem. Thank you for your honesty. You dropped the negative out, my bad, not a problem. Go ahead, make your adjustments, and then just put your answer back. Okay. Oh, thanks for the follow, Casey. Yeah, hello, Mary. Alright. Is that Taya? Kiara. Pleasure coming in, stopping in. Okay, any other answers? I see a lot of the -2, -3s. Okay, use the derivatives. Yes. Yeah, -2 and -3s. Just say -2, -3. It's -b squared plus 4ac over 4a. Okay. I should remember how to do this stuff. That's okay. I'm just taking our time. Okay, thinking of factoring it. Okay, you also got -2, -3. There you go. I know, isn't it weird how if you forget the negative, how it completely changes your answer? All right. Yep, thank you, Michael. Appreciate the roses. Look at all that. All right. So, I know with all my people taking the derivatives. All right, so we have our A. Our A was a 2. Our B is the coefficient of x, which is an 8. And our C, which is our constant, which is a 5. And all we need is to find, we can use the axis of symmetry to help find what is our x value. What is the x value of our vertex? Now, for those that are coming in here later, this is what's called standard form for an expression. The a is always the number that's in front of your x squared. Your b is always the coefficient that's in front of the x. And the c is your constant. Now, if we want to find that vertical line that goes through your parabola, and the reason why I know we have a parabola, because my highest degree is a 2, okay? Since this 2, the coefficient in front is a positive, it's going to open up like a cup, okay? So it's going to give me a nice little smile. So the line that splits that parabola right in half is going to be a result from this equation. So if I plug in, my b is 8, and I'm only substituting only for the b. Then 2 times a, and I'm only substituting for the a. So my a is 2, my b is 8. So now I have a negative times a positive 8, which gives me a -8, over 2 times 2, which gives me 4. So now we have a negative divided by a positive, which will give me a negative answer. and then 8 divided by 4, which gives me 2. So that's where everyone's getting that -2. So this, even though it's the axis of symmetry, the axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex by the x value. So you just found the x value of your vertex. So now we need to find the y value. So how they do that is we go back to our original equation. It says f of x, that means it's a function of x. Function of x is simply y. So all we're going to do is we're going to rewrite that equation, and where there's an x, we're going to put that -2. Why do I feel like Bob Ross right now? I'm like, now we're just going to put a happy tree right there. Oh, look at those nice little fluffy clouds. So all we do is plug in the -2 for the x's. So now we have to remember, always do the exponents first. -2 squared. That's not the same as saying -2 times 2. It's -2 times -2. So a negative times a negative will give me a positive. So this right here gives me a positive 4. And I'm multiplying that 4 to the 2 that's a coefficient. So 2 times 4, that gives me 8. Now I have this positive 8 times -2. Positive times a negative gives me a negative. 2 times 8 gives me 16. Then we just bring down the +5. So if we take a look, we have our 8 minus 16, that gives me a -8, plus the 5. So -8 plus 5 gives us the -3 that everybody's talking about. All right. So now you got your vertex. And your vertex is your x, then your y. Trust me, GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, they will put one of the answers as a y then x. Okay, you never know. That might be the one question that you would need in order to pass. So just be careful. So remember, your x was -2, and then your y was -3. Okay, and this is your vertex. Okay, happy little rectangles. Hello, Amy here. Just scrolling quickly. What? Hold on. I love when there's conversations going on. Okay, I remember this. I remember the factoring thing. Okay, I remember the roses. The negative signs changed the whole expression. Okay, goal achieved. Thank you, Michael. Lou. Okay, so Lou, does this make sense? Because you were asking a couple questions earlier. Okay, help the preparatory praxis. Awesome. Yep. Which ones are you going for? Elementary or secondary? Gotta catch up with the tapping. Amy, math teacher here. All right, hey, no problem. Always welcome. Why just do math? Scary lives that come across. Ooh, scary lives. Yeah, some of the lives are getting kind of out there. Guy screaming and jumping in front of a Chipotle. I mean, scrolling. Oh, okay. Yeah, no geometry tonight. Okay. How come I don't do SAT prep? I really do not like the SAT. I feel like there's a major bias with it. Even though the SAT always goes up to and including Algebra 2. But if you ever get a student that is on track, like say they had Algebra 1 in 7th grade, Geometry 8th grade, Algebra 2 in 9th grade, hey, that makes sense for them to take the pre-SAT, the PSAT, as 10th graders. But what about those students that are taking Algebra 1 as a 9th grader, Geometry as a 10th grader, and Algebra 2 as a junior in high school? And they're going to miss out on some scholarships because it's not their fault that they're experiencing it late. And I don't know. And I just always feel like they always take the PSAT in October, but if they're currently taking Algebra 2, there's a lot of part of the test that they're not going to know. So yeah, there's got to be a better system. It's always like a setup for failure. That's why I don't like the SATs. But I know you got to learn to think outside the box. But I do SAT prep. Yep. Yeah, I'm not bougie yet with the subscriptions. But I know if anyone needs anything deeper and they want like one-to-one tutoring or a small group tutoring sessions, I'm available for that. And that's basically what I do. I try to come on TikTok and just try to ease your minds a little bit with math, because there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, I don't like math. And right away their kids don't like math. And I'm like, guys, this is not a hereditary thing. Like, it's because your exposure to math wasn't, you didn't have a person that was like, let me break it down to you. You had a teacher that knew the math and they can go up on the board and just go reiterate all the stuff. And then they turn around and say, okay, you got it? And then you guys, as young kids, was like, yeah, sure. Lying like I don't know what. And then you just basically say, I hate my math teacher. I hate school. I hate doing this. Well, I'm going to fail. And you feel like a failure. No one wants to feel like a failure. And the reason why I know this so well is I was that kid. So I kind of want to build up and give you some empowerment, and just by doing things step by step. So you are more than welcome. Yep. Every day. Yeah, and that's what I want to do. What? Bailey, at the start you said A, B, C had their own meaning. What was it? Said A, B, C had their own meaning. Say what? Try again, Bailey. Justin Z, hi. Hi, Justin. How you doing? Okay. So, C was the constant. Yes. So your A is always the coefficient of your x squared. Your B is always the coefficient of your x. And your C is your constant. So when you're trying to find the vertex, it's not so much the C that you need some assistance with. It's the A and the B. Okay. All right. Okay. What was the other S? Yeah, so C is your y-intercept. Yep. Yuppers. Okay. So, another reason why I'm here is also to share out a lot of my stuff. If you like the setup of my equation, see, Michael, see, I made a mistake. It's right there. So this I basically designed my math notebook. I think I have a few more that's coming out. Can't wait. So what I do is I have a section where you can write your formulas, a section where you can put your steps, and I kind of like to have the dot section. You know, if you have pieces of paper that you get from your teacher and you want to cut and paste it, literally, you can do that. And it gives you a section where you can do all the work. Also, the other side, it'll give you the traditional, almost like a grid, okay, just like graph paper. And not only do you have a section to put all your notes, there's also a review section. Now, with the review section, first thing that comes up is your factor sheet. So factors from 1 to 200, because this book is really designed for those in 7th grade all the way up to adults. So we're looking, I already have one that's released for pre-algebra and algebra 1, and I'll be releasing my algebra 2 and pre-calculus 1 with all the resources in the back. So if you're struggling with the rules of integers, that's there for you. Also, order of operations and the properties of exponents. Then you have your linear and your quadratic equations all the way there. Then you also have your volume, your surface area. Then you have your area and your perimeter, as well as Pythagorean theorem. We have a little bit of trig functions and some of the trig identities. And last but not least, your unit circle. Okay, so these are just places, just things to, one, help your students, help yourself to organize. And if you are a teacher, which some of you guys are, you know administration always asks you that one question during your observation, especially the pre-observation. How do you know that your kids are getting it? So then you can show them this mood tracker, right? So you can just have them really quick circle how they're feeling before the lesson. Then during the whole thing, just stop. Hey, make sure you guys circle to see how you're feeling during, before the lesson, during the lesson, and then after the lesson. And you just do simply walking around. So you don't have your kids doing the thumbs up and the thumbs down, because no one wants to be called out like that. They don't. They want attention, but not that type of attention. Same thing with homeschool as well. So as I mentioned, I didn't mention, all of my lives are recorded. So if you guys came a little bit late and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, all my lives are recorded. You just have to go here and just type in the search this or this. And you'll actually see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. I know, it's really deep with the whole title. And if you can do a few things like do this, do this, do this, do this, and do this, so you'll be able to get all the lives. This live, give me some time, because sometimes TikTok takes about 2, sometimes 3 hours just to download a live. I know, it's fun. Sarcasm. Big time, okay? But you will see lives from February the 2nd to yesterday. That's already on there. So you can just go ahead, binge watch, be happy. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause, as long as you can get the extra assistance that you need. Now, since August has started, a lot of my summer people are up and moving. So right now I'm getting ready for my fall slot. So if you need a private tutor or even small groups, I know some of you guys are about to start college algebra and you're like, I might need you, Audrey. Okay. Make sure you spread the word. I definitely have a small group discount. I try to not have more than 4 people. But if you want to do something self-paced, I have courses all ready to go that will help you with the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, T's, even some people for foundational math. So I definitely have those ready, rock and roll. And if you want to add in like a 30-minute tutoring sessions, this will be the price of $197, which is a flipping steal. All right, so this is where you can go to sign up for that. Now, if you want to buy one of my books, you can go here. This is my private one, or you can go to the big A store. You know, A with the smiley face, the nice brown box that everyone buys stuff. Yeah, I'm also on the A. Okay, so, and then just be on the lookout, because eventually I'm going to start bringing some math workbooks, but I need to get my notebooks up and moving. All right. Yes, I'm telling you, the tracker is amazing. And just to be able to, it's something quick and dirty, and you don't have to do anything. Okay? Now, if you want my notes, you can. Not this book. This book will almost be, I think I got like another week. I probably got like another week. Maybe the end of this week, this might be all done already. But I have something called Audrey's Notes. So it's actually a copy of all of my notes that I do here on TikTok. And what happens is at the bottom, I have a QR code. If you scan the QR code, it will take you directly to the live that's connected to these notes. So rationalizing the denominator, which happened May the 6th. If all you have to do is just scan this bad boy, and it'll take you right to it. And you can follow along with my notes on that side as well as this side. Okay, so that goes right now. Books 1 through 4 is ready and available. So if you want to use it for any kind of usage, you can do that. And every book has basically the same dedication that I give to everyone, because I appreciate you guys. So to every viewer who showed up to my TikTok lives, thank you. Whether you stayed for 5 minutes or you follow every lesson, your presence, your questions, and your support are what make these notes possible. You remind me that math is not just about numbers, it's about connections, confidence, and showing up even when it's hard. This book is for you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. I know. Huge heart. I know. All right. Okay. Detention. Why are we going to detention? Please and thanks. Okay. All right. All right, where can you get this book? You can go either here, which is also the first link in my profile, or you can actually go here. I'll let you screenshot it. I'm going to take it down in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can get it there. If you order from here, take about a week, no longer than that. But if you order through the A, depends if you have Prime, yes or no. Okay? So all of my books are available there. And again, this one should be up and ready by, I want to say, like maybe sometime next week, in the middle of next week. Okay, so for book 5. All right, not a problem. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. I greatly appreciate it. And again, tomorrow night I will be here at 9:30, because I definitely have, it's going to be nice and jam-packed tomorrow, which is fabulous. All right, so, yep, I think that's about it. So, not a problem. Thank you so much for coming on in. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me. If you're thinking about, you know what, I think I'm going to need you. I'm going to start these courses next week, because I know a lot of people are starting either this week for community college or next week. And even if you're just a little nervous and you're just like, I just want like little conviction, like just, am I doing this right? Just message me. We'll set up alive. And then plus I am doing a discounted rate for my TikTok people because you guys helped me out when I need that. But that's going to last until like around November, well, just before Thanksgiving. So take advantage of that, okay? Take advantage of that. What if I want all the books with notes? Okay, have fun ordering all the books with notes. Go. I'm not gonna hold you back. What high school year have I taught algebra? Oh gosh. I always taught high school. I never taught anything younger. I don't have the patience. I used to have the patience of Job, but now I'm like, yeah. It's like a megasecond. Yeah, I think almost every year for the last 22 years. Actually, there was a couple years I taught geometry. They're all right. I would, at this point, I would recommend possibly for college algebra, I would recommend 3 or 4. Yeah, because I did a few more geometry and a few more GED type questions in there. It's like 3 or 4. Okay. Can I do that? Of course I can. All right. So we're almost at 50. There's 59 of us. We could all do a mad tap. We're like right there on the cusp. Thank you for the rose, Sharon. Appreciate it. So all my books are available here. Yep. Books by Audrey Codner. Hey, Robert. You're back already? How was the trip? Or wait, are you still out? Robert's back? Michael was giving me a detail of what you were doing on your vacation practically. You're so welcome. You're oh so welcome. Oh, this afternoon? All right, cool. He's been a stalker. It's almost like you guys don't want to let me go. Let's try to get my goal of 50K. Go ahead, taparoo. One of these days, I'm just going to come on and not do math and just have us chat. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Give you a little something. Oh, and also, if you go, I keep forgetting to mention this. If you go here, because at the A I can't do it, but through my bookstore I can. I do have a left-handed edition. This is not it. This is the sample I was trying to get. But I do have books designed for lefties. So, and one of them I dedicated to my dad, whose anniversary is coming up. And the other one I'm going to dedicate to my mom. Both my parents are left-handed. All right. I see you guys. Yep. Yay, lefties. I know. I know the pain. I know and understand the pain. Take a poll. What's the poll about? How to discover They were lefties. One day I was watching my mom sign a check, and I was like, wait, what? I was 14. Like 14. You would think I would recognize that so much sooner. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. All right, not a problem. Yep. So all you have to do is just go Books by Audrey. Yep, Books by Audrey has all the books. Okay. No pain, no gain. Yeah. Wow. And then later on, my dad was signing something. It was on the same day. It was like really random. It was like a Saturday. And all of a sudden, my mom said, oh, you have to sign this too. And then he signed with the left hand. I was like, wait, what? Both of you are left-handed? And you know how parents just look at you like, you know, that sigh and that look like, are you serious? Like, yeah. I was like, look, I wasn't paying attention. Good night, Sharon. They planned it? Probably. Knowing them. They're all crazy. All right. Yay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much thank you for your time and your attention. Trust me, if you guys weren't here, I don't know what the heck I'd be doing. Probably watching another cat video or something. Or dogs doing something weird. I don't know. But I greatly appreciate this. The time, the attention, and everything involved. Kick right, throw left. All right, Mia. It probably did. Do I have a YouTube channel? Of course. I have a YT. Okay, just have to type into that or that. And if you can, it'll be great if you can do this, and this. So I have all my recordings. This one, give me some time to put it up there. But all of my recordings are basically there since February 2nd. Okay, definitely. I will be here. And then plus also you guys, you know, if you just look on my profile, you'll see everything. You'll see my schedule, which may change again. I'm so tired of changing it. But I will be here tomorrow night. We're probably going to be doing something. I don't even know yet. Every time I do something, then I have a tutoring session. I'm like, nope, we gotta focus on this. Have I ever tried writing with my left hand? I have. And sometimes it can be legible. But I haven't done that in years. I know when I was younger, I was kind of able to do it. And of course, I always felt bad for my mom because she was raised in the day that being left-handed, that means you were the devil's minion or something like that. Poor woman. I don't know what my dad did. Knowing my dad, he probably finessed his way through it. He was the latest man. Papa was a rolling stone. Your pasta coloring book? Endless possibilities? Do you have recipes in there, or is it just like different pastas? Is it by color by numbers? Okay, you're currently in GED program. Okay. All right, not a problem. Hey, that's what I do. So definitely reach out, okay? Don't just say you're going to reach out and don't reach out. definitely reach out, because I'm helping a lot of people with their GED, their ASVAB, just getting into whatever programs they need to get into. As you can see, I try to keep everything as simple as I can possible, because no one has time for complications, okay? If you're going into calculus and you need to do a whole lot, that's fine. But GEDs, they're not asking for a full dissertation about life. They're not asking you to split an atom. They just want you to pick A, B, C, or D, okay? All right. Well, some countries, they don't, how should I say it? They wipe with their left. And it was just seen as being a disgrace. So like, she used to get hit by rulers, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad too. Yep. Yeah, because I'm not bougie yet. I'm not ritzy titsy. Maybe at 100K. I mean, like, am I going to be like, who is Michael? Michael? Does that name sound familiar? Who is Jennifer? Like, no, I'm not going to ever do that. But I might be charging a heck of a lot more for stuff. I know definitely for the workbook that I'm working on, yeah, that's going to be worth its price, because it's basically everything in one. So that one, I'm hoping to get it completely done in October. Like, that's a workbook which helping with GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, even the IBEW for people that are trying to be electricians. Yeah, I have a young man that scored well in that recently. Actually passed it Saturday. So, yeah. Alrighty. Okay, everyone. So let's wrap up. It's 10 after 10 my time, East Coast time. I still have a couple things. Gotta get laundry together. The whole house thing, making sure that I don't know, smells lovely and comfortable. Do you know where he's located? Do I know where who's located? Oh, he's in Maryland. Yep, he was in Maryland. No, because I know you're trying to pass that test too. And a lot of it is the algebra. So a lot of it is just those pre-tests. All right, have a good night, Amber. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up soon. See if they pay more than Florida. I don't know. At this rate, I think everybody's paying more than Florida. I hate to say it like that. It's like everybody is reaching and stretching as best they can. Okay. I know. All right, everyone. So tomorrow, let me wrap this up so it's not too long, because I still have to download all of this and I do it uncut. So if anything, I'll figure out what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It might be more of geometry. I'm going to see if I can get more of the refresher for that. So the area, perimeter, circumference, like just the basics of the basics. Because I don't want to go too deep, but I definitely know I need to hit on volume as well. So we definitely need to get that, because if you can hit volume, those are 4-point questions for GED. Volume, you'll see volume for the ASVAB. If you're seeing volume, you're doing really well. Like you're in the 50s, if not a high 50s. But if you start seeing composite figures, like 2 figures that you need to find the volume for both of them, you're in the 70s. So we want to get you up there so you can have more opportunities, better jobs. No one wants to be the bottom of the barrel jobs type thing, okay? And then you get more benefits and everything like that. So the higher the score, the better it is for the ASVAB. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of that, just a refresher. Yeah. But you keep fighting though, Jess. You keep working. Because whatever you want to do, trust me, there's always going to be someone that's looking for your style and looking for you to do that. Yeah, I know. It's going to get to the point, Jess, I hate to say it this way, that you might have to develop your own construction company. I hate to say it, you're probably going to have to. Yeah. So, like, figure out what you want or what is your strength and then go for that. You know, what is your signature? And literally start selling that. Because if people can go around saying, hey, can I wash your house? Because I know a couple of people that do that in Florida. They'll go door to door and say, hey, this is a packet that, I'll just power wash your house. I know for sure you can put something together to get people. Yeah. Today I changed my time, Eric. I'm sorry. But there was a person that didn't show for my last session. I just said, screw it. Let me just come on. Let me come on. Because I really could have came on at 8 o'clock. And I was like, no, let me do 8:30 to give some people some time. I know. That's why you have to get a system, a payment system. So when people put their information in, you don't have to worry about begging for invoices. That's the one thing that sucks. Never do invoices. And if anything, if you ever want to talk more about that, we can. Yeah. Because I know a couple of things that you can definitely use. And it's not just for tutoring. It's for anybody. Okay. Math in session? No, you missed it. We had math. We started at 8:30, so we're actually wrapping up. Yeah. So if anything, give me some time once I close out this live to put it up, and it's going to be uploaded on here. It might take a couple hours depending on TikTok, how long it takes to download. Okay, so just type in this one or both. And go ahead and do those 5 things. And then you can get access to basically all of my lives from February the 2nd. So, and it's just under a playlist that says TikTok Lives. I know, it's really deep with the name. Okay. Not a problem. Yeah, we're in cool down mode. We're in cool down mode. Yeah, the last few nights has been gorgeous here. Gorgeous. That's probably why Janice isn't here. Because it's so nice out. Yes. All right. Okay, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. No, seriously. I need to wrap up because I got laundry I got to finish and straightening up some stuff. Okay? Because I'm going to go to bed before midnight. I know. It's crazy. Before midnight. It's a rare moment. All right. So I will see you. Have a lovely evening. I know, right? I don't know. I might lay in bed knowing me going through TikTok. See what will make me fall asleep. So I will see you guys here tomorrow night at 9:30 regardless. 9:30 p.m. Because yes, that's the only time I have available for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be cray cray. Yay! I love cray cray days. All right. All right, have a great night, and I will talk with you guys tomorrow evening. All right, take care. Take care. Bye.